I'm learning how to use my gel press, and yesterday I let some paint dry. I mostly used metallics from Folk Art, and I just let it dry. I put a stencil into the paint as it was, when it was wet, and I'm going to try just covering it and lifting it. Whoop. You're supposed to put a little. Lifting it with wet paint. Got way too much paint here. So, and I want to just try a tad bit of black. This, again, is way too much paint. Okay, we're going to just start by taking the paint off. It says use a little bit. I don't know how to use a little bit. Well, let's give it a try. This is literally my first experiment of trying with a white background. And it's supposed to be a fairly thin layer of paint. And that I did not succeed in. So I have some black in there, so it's going to turn gray. I want to make sure all of my paint is covered. I'm going to switch to a little one here. I don't want to take up the paint and putting it on. And there goes some black. Now, since I'm new at this, I didn't want to use expensive cardstock, and what I have is a stack pad that doesn't cost much money to do my first pulls. It has white paper on the back, and I'm just using the backs of it. Well, I didn't anticipate using so many rollers, but I'm glad I had them out. Let's give it a try and see what happens. So I said this is from a stack pack. Don't really care for the picture at all, but that's what I'm using for the other side, which is white, to get off my print. I'm going to gently rub that down, and let's see. I want to get all the paint off, so I'm going to use an air hockey puck to give it a good firm burnishing. Let it sit for a minute. Make sure my edges come. While that's doing that, I'm just going to put a regular piece of cardstock over here to pick up my little ones. I have a 3-pack of little ones that I started with, and I just got this new 12 by 12 jelly pack. So, all right. Nervous. Right. They say you can peek and see if it comes up, but I'm just going to take it up and see what happens. Well, I have to take the little one off because the little one's in the way. It's getting quite a bit off. There she is. And I didn't rub all areas. Don't know if I can even, I'm not sure what that will be used for, but that shows you some of the design from the stencil. And here I have 2 stencils. I have an inside one with a flourish, and then just a geometric. Now before I sign off, I do have two other pages I did yesterday that were my first without waiting for it to all dry. I actually tried putting stamping on it. And this one wasn't wet enough, and that's what made me think of putting the whole wet over everything. Well, that's all for now. I'll keep showing you my experiments.